How you doing out there? I truly want to thank you for coming back to see me and everything. I had a long day today, but I had to come here and I had to talk to you. Today, I want to tell you what my day was about. All right, let me get out of character. That was it's supposed to be my southern accent. It's funny, believe it or not. It's true that I actually met people that talk like that when I was living down south. But welcome. Thank you for coming back to visit me. For those that watch my other sessions, and to the new viewers, my name is Leon Mack. Tonight, I'm going to do my my fifth session, my fifth video. All right. So just to quickly recap, I talked about a series of things that makes, I guess that's my process. 4 words that I hold very important to me. Those words are faith, hope, peace, and happiness. These words are so important in my life. Basically, to me, they run hand in hand because you need hope to make it every day. Faith is what gives you hope, you know? Peace, to me, if you have hope and you have faith, that gives you peace. And when you have peace, you're happy. So I'm jumping into this session tonight, which is my last word, and it's happiness. All right. So I basically looked up the meaning of happiness in the dictionary, and the meaning of happiness is to be happy, according to the dictionary. To have self-pleasure and satisfaction. It's a heavy word, you know, because a lot of people I guess a lot of people have different meanings to happiness. But for me, I can say happiness falls in that guideline of what the dictionary said. You know, because I experience pleasure when I'm happy. I'm satisfied, I'm content, you know, I'm peaceful. And I'm happy. You know, some people may think it's a little corny to be happy all the time, but it's always been something that I've always had in me since a little kid. You know? So it's important to know what is happy, or what is happiness, and how can you get to happiness. For me, getting to happiness is just knowing God. You know, knowing that God loves me and God is with me every step of my life. And I really mean that. Like, I wish I can share how God hugs me. I wish I can share how God talks to me and how he keeps me peaceful and how he gives me a smile, helps me to be a light. You know, it's very important to be a light. I want to just touch bases on that right there, being a light. You know, I've heard this all my life. You are a light. Oh my God, you're such a ray of sunshine. And sometimes I don't even have to say a word and people would just come up to me and say these things. The reason why I'm a light is because of God. Because of my love for God and the love that he has for me. That it keeps me happy. So that when I do meet other people that are feeling down, I can make them feel good. You know? I think that's important. I feel like a lot of people forget to be a light to someone else. You know? Because when you're a light and you share your light, you bring happiness to somebody else who possibly don't even know what happiness means. You know? And I can't even tell you the fulfillment that I feel knowing that God used me. Sometimes the person don't even tell me. But it's just feeling that you know that God is using you, you know? That gives me joy, you know, because that's another meaning in happiness, joy. You know, I feel a lot of joy sometimes in speaking to people. This is supposed to be my last session on my 4 topics, but I'm going to continue doing this because, as I said before, God is leading me, you know, and I have so much to share as far as my testimonies for what God has given to me. You know, he lets me know that he's here with me. You know, I'm about to tear up because it's so important, man. It is so important to be happy in life. Because if you're not happy in life, you don't have peace. You don't have hope. And if you don't have hope, then what's the sense of having faith? You know? I'm hoping that I'm helping someone. It's funny because I actually got a chance to meet with somebody today. And this might make me go a little over my session, which is 5 minutes. I just said I would keep it down to 5 minutes. But I feel like this is important to share. God uses us without us even knowing you know. So today, I had a taste for grapefruit. So I've been on this little, I try to eat healthy and everything like that. So I do my little grapefruits, I do my fruits and everything like that. I try to stay away from like unhealthy foods. And grapefruits are actually good for losing weight or keeping, for me, it's my stomach. I'm trying to keep my stomach nice and flat and keep my six pack going on. So I think in my head, by eating the grapefruit, that helps me achieve it along with exercise. Exercise is very important in life, mentally and physically. So again, back on topic. I went outside today for lunch because I wanted a grapefruit. Normally the guy that stands by my desk is stand by my building is normally outside of my building. He wasn't there today. Had all this craziness going on in New York. It was crazy and pure madness in the city because of this whole politician thing, but I'm not even going into politics. So, went outside to try to get my grapefruit, and the guy wasn't there because of all this madness that's going on, this politics and blocking roads off and everything like that. So I had to walk like a few blocks to get my grapefruit. And I'm walking down the street, and then I realized I had to go to Chase. When I got to the stand, I saw my man that normally gives me a grapefruit, and I said, okay, I have to make a deposit. So there's a gentleman that used to work across the street from where I used to work at, and I used to work at a branch at Citibank. The guy that worked next to me was at the competitor Chase, and we used to always meet and talk. We used to fill each other's cup. Some days I would go in there and we'll start talking about just our blessings and our testimonies, and the world and how crazy it is, and how to be founded. And like I said, he would fill my cup and I would fill his cup, with positivity and the next message. Because God uses us. When we call upon him, he uses us, Anyways, he wasn't there. So I met another young lady. And I had asked if the gentleman still worked there. And she told me no, he didn't work there. But she said, what do you need? And I said, oh, don't worry about it. I forgot his name anyways, yada, yada, yada. Because she's trying to figure out which guy am I talking about. Anyways, we're continuing to have a conversation. And then I started going on, she started asking me about where do I work? And I told her I used to work at Citibank. I told her about where I'm at currently as far as my promotion and everything. And I told her about that journey. I'm not gonna go into detail about the journey, but I told her that I was discouraged and that I said she's in a great place right now. She's in a great place right now because God is using her. So she actually said she just joined a Bible session at her church, and she's going over a couple of lines. So she understood what I was talking about when I said a journey and how God uses us. I love what I was doing as a personal banker because it gave me an opportunity to talk with people, to meet people. And God used me. I can tell you so many stories on that situation. But by me talking about my journey and telling her like what I went through to get to where I'm at now, I never knew this lady. I never met this lady in my life. And when we finished, she told me, oh my God, I met you today. I don't even know who you are. And I was sitting here talking to God and saying, Lord, why do you have me here? Everyone is moving up, and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm the longest one that's been here. I've been here the longest out of everyone that's moved up. This one got a manager position. This one's moving to another branch as a sales assistant manager. And I'm still here at my spot. And then you come in here and you tell me about your testimony. And she says, brother, can I give you a hug because I feel like crying? And I'm like, wow. So I said, you know what? I thought my purpose was to walk down the street and get my grapefruit. I walked 7 blocks to get this grapefruit, but that wasn't my purpose. My purpose was to meet that young lady. So again, God uses us. And when we are used by the Lord, whether we know whether we know that he is using us or he's not using, he's always using us. But sometimes he uses us without us knowing it. So by her telling me this right here, made me overjoyed because I was being used by the Lord. And that's what he used. That's what he's been doing with me my whole life. I was a light for somebody else, So again, I went over 5 minutes, but I guess this session, again, with being happy, is being a light. Be a light for someone else, because in return, you receive so much happiness as I can't even explain it, and that's what keeps me happy. is doing God's work and just being peaceful. All right, so I try to go somewhere with it, and I hope that you get something from what I was saying. And I thank you guys for coming back to join me. Please subscribe to me. You know, this is a journey that I don't even know where I'm going at, but at the same time, I'm doing it. And I'm doing it for a reason. And if I can help someone, please let me help you. Let me guide you. Let me give you some of my light if I can, you know. So until next time, please. But seriously, until next time, please be a light. Keep happiness. Remember my words. Faith, hope, peace, and happiness. That's all you need to have a rich life, man. You know? I thank you. Good night.